We're joined now by the New South Wales Greens MP, John Kaye. He joins us from Sydney. And thank you for your time this morning. I'll start by asking you whether you think that's a good enough reason for the industry not picking up on this live baiting.
The industry was told about live baiting, at least in 2013. I was on an upper house inquiry in the New South Wales Parliament. They just said, oh, they're allegations, there's no evidence. They didn't seem to do anything to go out and collect the evidence. They refused to take the matter seriously. I don't think their explanation is nearly good enough. What was shocking about the Four Corners program last night was not just the substance, which I just can't talk about without tearing up, but also the fact that it went right to the very top of the industry. The winners in the industry were live baiting. This is an industry-wide crisis that cannot be resolved within the industry. It needs external interference.
So you're calling for not greyhound racing to be stopped in any way, but simply to split up the bodies and have an independent body looking into it for animal welfare, among other things. Is that right?
What we saw last night was a spectacular failure of self-regulation. This is an industry that is run by a body that has both the commercial function of promoting greyhound racing and also the role of regulating matters including integrity and animal welfare. Putting the two together into one body is a spectacular conflict of interest. It clearly hasn't worked. It's clearly had horrendous consequences, unspeakable consequences, not just for the dogs but also for the animals involved in live baiting. I don't think governments can continue to turn their back on what is one of the worst animal welfare failures in Australia.
John, I know you're in New South Wales. The Victorian government's reaction, they've launched a couple of inquiries from different esteemed people, but also they're pouring more money into greyhound racing so that they can beef up that self-regulation. I wonder whether you think that misses the point.
Oh, look, it totally misses the point. That's more money after a bad solution. You're just pumping up a solution that's proven to not work. The reality of the industry around Australia is that self-regulation, in New South Wales, it's a 5.5-year-old experiment, has to be terminated. It has to be recognised that this is an industry which cannot look after its own animal welfare outcomes at the same time that it is also supposed to be promoting the industry. I think there are real questions about the future of greyhound racing. That what I saw last night is very challenging to the whole issue of whether greyhound racing can be conducted in a way that does not compromise animal welfare.
I'm sure there are many good people involved in the industry. In fact, from 2010 statistics, the economic contribution in New South Wales alone is $144 million. 1,500 people permanently employed in the industry, some 13,000 competitors. Do you believe that what we saw last night is systemic?
Well, it looks like the people who were winning the races, the lead people in the industry, were involved in live baiting. That means there's a perverse incentive on everybody in the industry to be involved in live baiting unless it can be stamped out. Is it possible to stamp out an industry which has so many participants, 13,000 participants in New South Wales alone, spread across the entire state? Can it be done by an industry-based body? These are questions that I don't think the industry can answer. I don't have any faith in a greyhound racing New South Wales industry task force. I think what's needed is a government task force to pick up where the upper house inquiry left off or failed to go and to get right to the bottom of what's happening in this industry. You know, there are open questions as to how greyhound racing in Australia can continue to conduct itself after what happened, what was exposed on television last night.